just as we were told, Fred Simiyu, conference tourism.
Right.
How much have we done as a country in terms of attracting the right number of people who are going to come to this country, either for conferences or exhibitions?
Thank you very much, Michael. Kenya has been very strategic in actually promoting more so conference tourism. And this came into action when an act of 2011 was actually put in place. And KICC was actually mandated to promote and market conference tourism, more so designated by the acronym MICE, which stands for Meetings, Incentives, Conferences and Exhibitions for the destination Kenya. And I think that is what has seen a growth of MICE from being position 60 in Africa to right now being position 2 in the entire Africa.
Yeah, I was looking at some numbers on your website, and we were looking at about 2013, we were having like about 3,300 local conferences, and they're about international, about 328. The gap between local and international, are we positioning ourselves to attract more of those international type conferences?
Yes, Kenya has actually established a MICE secretariat that is actually it's actually tasked with bidding for international conferences. And this is actually domiciled at KICC, though it has several private players in it. And it brings into play stakeholders from KATO, Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers. We also have KTB, and private players like the Public Relations Society. What we do have is we have a seat that actually brings in members from various associations who are actually bidding for international conferences, and we provide the expertise for this. And in this regard, I'm very happy to state that Kenya has actually managed to host over, like last year we did 38 international conferences, which actually made us be ranked number 2 in Africa, and that's a very good stride for this country.
And obviously you say in Africa, and we're obviously just behind South Africa, who's managed to get that whole conference tourism right. But just looking at where we are between Kenya and South Africa, what are some of the infrastructure that needs to be put in place, from hotels and that whole ecosystem to support the numbers that we can attract, where we can attract even more than 500,000 delegates coming into the country?
Right. Thanks, Mike. I think you've actually hit the nail on the head in that South Africa just came into independence in the 80s, but they had their strategic plan very ready for the convention centers. And within each and every city, from Joburg to Durban to Cape Town, all the way, they actually have convention centers placed there. And we are able to compete with them by the fact that we only have one purpose-built convention center that was actually put in place in 1973 by the founding father of the nation. So that makes us disadvantaged strategically because the supply end does not meet the demand. But with this in place, still we've managed actually to score or to get 38 against South Africa, which had 72 conferences. But the difference actually is the number of convention centers that they have. And to this regard, my minister, Madam Phyllis Kandie, has actually done a very strategic thing by establishing other convention centers that we want to actually work on.
And with the support,
and with the support of the government, more so the president and his deputy, we've actually earmarked Bomas as the next big thing when it comes to convention centers in the country.
What kind of capacity are we looking for?
We are looking at a 300,000 square convention center with a capacity of 15,000 delegates sitting at one setting. You realize KICC, having been done in the 70s, actually has a capacity of 5,000 seated, and this made it look like a monolith then. But with the development and also with the supply coming in and the demand actually increasing, there's need for us to actually open more convention centers that can actually take this demand. I'd also want to add that KICC did get a presidential directive to actually establish a new modern convention center. And we're actually working on the feasibility studies, same case with Bomas, so that we can actually amplify the demand side.
And take care of that capacity.
Thank
you very much, Fred Simiyu. That has been Fred Simiyu, the Managing Director for KICC, just telling us more about conference tourism. And to that regard, they'll be hosting a conference, the MICE conference, from the 23rd to the 26th of January, right over there at KICC, just showcasing what Kenya has to offer in terms of convention space and what can be